I lost her. 3 words, but somehow, they feel heavier than everything I've ever carried. Not because she died, not because she disappeared. She's still somewhere out there, living her life, smiling, laughing, maybe even happier than before. And that's exactly what hurts, because the hardest person to lose is someone who's still alive. People think heartbreak is one big moment, one fight, one goodbye, one final text. But that's not how it happens. You lose them in pieces. First, the late-night conversations disappear. Then the random updates. Then the good mornings. Then suddenly, you realize you've gone an entire day without talking. And the person who once knew everything about your life knows nothing anymore. The worst part? You keep looking for them in places they don't exist anymore. You open old chats. You reread messages. You listen to songs that remind you of them. Not because it helps, but because a small part of you still hopes you'll feel close to them again, even if it's only for a few seconds. And sometimes people say, just move on, as if feelings have an off switch, as if memories disappear because someone tells you to forget. But moving on isn't forgetting. It's learning how to live with the memories without letting them control your entire life. You know what's funny? When you love someone deeply, you never imagine a future without them. You make plans. You create dreams. You picture them beside you in moments that haven't even happened yet. And when they leave, those dreams leave too. Not just the person, the future you imagined with them. That's what breaks you. And for a while, you blame yourself. You replay every conversation in your head. Maybe I should have said that differently. Maybe I should have tried harder. Maybe if I did one thing differently, they would have stayed. But the truth is, not every ending happens because someone failed. Sometimes 2 people care about each other, and life still pulls them in different directions. Sometimes love exists, but timing doesn't. And that's a painful thing to accept. The nights are always the hardest, because during the day, you're busy. You have work, friends, school, responsibilities. But at night, it's just you and your thoughts. And somehow, their name finds its way back into your mind. Again, and again, and again. You wonder what they're doing, if they ever think about you, if they miss you the way you miss them. Questions with no answers. Yet your mind keeps asking them anyway. And then one day, something strange happens. You wake up, and it doesn't hurt as much. Not because you've forgotten them, not because they stopped mattering, but because you've started healing. The memories are still there. The lessons are still there. But the pain isn't controlling every part of your day anymore. You start realizing that your life didn't end when they left. It just changed. And change hurts. But change also helps you grow. The version of you before losing them, and the version of you after losing them, will never be the same person. Sometimes heartbreak becomes the thing that teaches you the most about yourself. You learn who stayed when you were falling apart. You learn which people only loved the happy version of you, and which people cared when you had nothing left to give. You learn that healing isn't a straight line. Some days you'll feel completely okay, and then a random photo, a random song, or a random memory will hit you like it happened yesterday. That's normal, because healing doesn't not mean the memories disappear. It means the memories stop having power over you. And maybe the truth isn't that you lost her. Maybe you lost the version of life you thought you'd have with her. Maybe you lost the future you imagined. Maybe you lost the person she used to be. Because people change. Feelings change. Life changes. And sometimes the hardest thing isn't letting go of a person. It's letting go of the story you wrote in your head. I know how tempting it is to keep waiting, to keep checking, to keep hoping they'll come back one day. And maybe they will. Maybe they won't. But if your happiness depends on someone returning, you're giving away control of your own life. Don't put your future on pause waiting for an answer that may never come. The truth is, some people enter your life forever, and some people enter your life to teach you something. Not every connection is meant to last, but that doesn't mean it wasn't real. It doesn't mean the memories were fake. It doesn't mean the love meant nothing. Sometimes people leave, and the lesson stays. So yes, I lost her. And for a long time, that felt like the end of my story. But now I realize it was just the end of one chapter. Because no matter who leaves, your life still has pages left to write. And one day, you'll look back at this pain not as the thing that destroyed you, but as the thing that helped you become stronger than you ever thought you could be. And if I'm being completely real, there are still moments when I miss her. Not every day, not every hour, but sometimes a familiar song, a familiar place, a memory that shows up without permission. And for a few seconds, everything comes rushing back. The laughs, the conversations, the way she made ordinary days feel special. But I've learned something important. Missing someone doesn't mean they belong in your life anymore. You can miss a person and still accept that the story is over. You can love someone and still choose to keep moving forward. Those two things can exist together. Because at some point, you stop asking, why did I lose her? And you start asking, what did this experience teach me? That's when growth begins. That's when the pain slowly turns into wisdom. Maybe she taught you how deeply you can care. Maybe she taught you what you deserve. Maybe she taught you what you'll never tolerate again. Or maybe she taught you that your happiness can't depend on one person, no matter how much you love them. And one day you'll meet new people, not to replace her. People aren't replaceable, but to remind you that life doesn't stop after heartbreak. There are still conversations waiting to happen, still memories waiting to be made, still chapters you haven't lived yet. So if you're listening to this while thinking about someone you lost, I want you to remember this. The fact that they left doesn't make you unlovable. The fact that the relationship ended doesn't mean your story ended too. You survived every bad day that came after losing them. And that's proof that you're stronger than the pain you're carrying. Maybe I lost her. Maybe she became a memory instead of a person in my life. But memories aren't where I live anymore. They're just places I visit sometimes. And when I leave those memories behind, I keep walking forward. Because the people meant for your future won't be found by spending your whole life staring at the past. And maybe that's the part nobody talks about. You don't wake up one morning completely healed. There isn't some magical day where every memory disappears. Healing is quieter than that. It's choosing yourself on the days you still miss them. It's choosing to keep going, even when your heart feels heavy. It's choosing growth over attachment, again and again. For the longest time, I thought moving on meant I had to stop caring. But that's not true. You can care. You can appreciate what happened. You can be grateful for the memories, and still understand that some doors are meant to stay closed. Because the version of you that met her isn't the same version of you right now. You've been through things. You've learned things. You've survived things. The pain changed you. And while you would have never asked for that pain, it still shaped who you are today. Sometimes I wonder what would have happened if things worked out, if we got another chance, if life gave us a different ending. But then I remind myself, imaginary futures can't compete with reality. What's gone is gone. What's left is now. And now deserves my attention more than what if. So no, I don't hate her. I don't regret meeting her. I don't regret the memories. Because even the painful ones taught me something valuable. They taught me that people can leave, but the lessons they leave behind can stay forever. And maybe the final lesson is this: not everyone you lose is a loss. Some people leave and take your peace with them. Some people leave and make room for growth. Some people leave and force you to become the person you were always supposed to be. At first, it feels like they took everything. But later, you realize they left you with something too. Strength, wisdom, perspective, and a deeper understanding of yourself. So yes, I lost her. But I found parts of myself that I would have never discovered otherwise. And maybe that's how some stories are meant to end. Not with two people staying together forever, but with one person learning how to stand on their own. And honestly, that's a different kind of love story. The one where you finally learn how to choose yourself. So if you're still thinking about someone you lost, if you're still rereading old messages, still wondering what went wrong, still hoping things could have been different, I get it. Because losing someone you truly cared about leaves a mark. But don't let that mark become your entire identity. They were a chapter of your life, not the whole book. And no matter how beautiful that chapter was, you still have pages left to write. People left, dreams changed, plans fell apart, but you're still here, and that means your story isn't over yet. Maybe I lost her. Maybe she'll always be a part of my memories. But I refuse to spend the rest of my life living in yesterday, because the past is a place to learn from, not a place to live in. So thank you for the memories, for the lessons, for the love that once existed. And goodbye, not with anger, not with hate, but with acceptance. Because some people are meant to stay in your heart, even when they can no longer stay in your life.